Rivers witness the growth and the development of human civilization. People have lived along the banks of rivers for several 100,000 years. Long ago, people were skilled gatherers. Skilled gatherers are people who gathered their food with knowledge about the vast wealth of plant in the surrounding forests, and collected roots, fruits, and other forest produce for their food. They also hunted animals. That is why they were called hunters and gatherers. Northwest of India, Suleiman and Kirtar Hills in Pakistan is very important place of our history. Women and men first began to grow crops such as wheat and barley about 8,000 years ago. At the same time, people also began rearing animals like sheep, goat, and cattle, and lived in villages. Agriculture was also developed into other places in India during the same period. Garo Hills in the northeast and Vindhyas in the central India is equally important because agriculture was developed in these places during the same period, that is 8,000 years ago. Rice was grown near the state of Uttar Pradesh, that is just north of the Vindhyas hills. And with this evidence we can say that rice was not exported from China, any other Asian countries, but was grown right here in India in ancient period. River Indus and its tributaries. Tributaries are the smaller rivers which flow into a large river. So Indus and its tributaries witnessed the first civilization in this land about 4,700 years ago. Some of the earliest cities flourished on the bank of these rivers. River Ganga and its tributaries are equally important. South of this river flourished the mightiest kingdom, the Magad kingdom. Indian subcontinent is surrounded by hills and mountains on the north, and it is also surrounded by sea in south, southeast, and southwest. These hills, mountains, and seas form the natural frontiers of the subcontinent. It was very difficult to cross these frontiers, but people did scale the mountains and came across the seas. These movement of people from other countries and places enriched our cultural traditions. People have shared new ways of carving stones, composing music, and even cooking food over several hundreds of years. This land has two names in the ancient past. One was India and another one was Bharat. India comes from the Indus, the river in the northwest, which was known to the Iranians and the Greek. River Indus was called Sindhu in Sanskrit. Iranians and Greek who came through the northwest knew about Indus, but they called it Hindos or the Indos, and the land to the east of this river was called India. Bharat comes from the Rig Veda, but it was used for a group of people. These people were mentioned in the Rig Veda. Rig Veda is the earliest composition in Sanskrit, some 3,500 years ago, and later Bharata was used for the country. We find our past from the records available in the form of manuscripts. These are the books written by hand. In Latin, manu, M-A-N-U, means hand. It was written on palm leaf or specially prepared bark of a tree known as birch, which grows in the Himalayas. Now they are preserved in temples and monasteries. Manuscripts dealt with religious beliefs and practices, the lives of kings, medicine and science. Epics, poems and plays were also written in manuscripts. In this land, manuscripts were written in Sanskrit or in Prakrit language, which was the common people language, and also in Tamil. Inscriptions are written on relatively hard surfaces such as stone or metal. King got orders inscribed for the people to see and obey them. Men and women, including king and queen, record what they did. Ashokan inscriptions found in Kandahar, present-day Afghanistan, is 2,250 years old. Script is used to write something. It consists of letters or signs, whereas language is used when we read what is written. It is also used to speak. Who study things those were made and used in the past are called archaeologists. They study remains of buildings made of stone and bricks, paintings and sculptures. They also explore and excavate to find tools, weapons, pots, pans, ornaments, and coins. Archaeologists also look for bones of animals, birds, and fish to find what people ate in the past. Historians are the scholars who study the past. Sources are referred to the information found from the manuscript, inscriptions, and archaeology. Dates. Years are counted from the date generally assigned to the birth of Jesus Christ, the founder of Christianity. For example, year 2000 means 2000 years after the birth of Christ. All the dates before the birth of Christ are counted backwards and usually have letters BC added on. BC is used for before Christ. CE is used as the common era. BCE is before the common era. So, BC and BCE are the same. CE and AD are the same. AD is Anno Domini, a Latin word which means in the year of the Lord. Let us sum up. We talked about the people who lived as the gatherers and the hunters. And we talked about the northwest of India, the Suleiman and the Kirtar hills, Garo hills, and the Vindhyas. We also talked about the rivers and the tributaries. We talked about Indus, Ganga. Then we talked about the frontiers, the natural frontiers. We also discussed about the name of this country, India and Bharat. Manuscripts, inscriptions, scripts are finally dealt. Archaeologists, historians were differentiated. And finally, we discussed the dates. Thanks for watching.